So yeah, need to be able to highlight everything we've talked about so far. So we spoke about the fact that structure can either be internal or external. I mentioned that every time frame has its own structure. So if you're on a particular time frame, you must be able to draw the structure that belongs to that particular time frame. And that's the way you can see structure in a more objective approach. All right. So we also looked at how to mark structure, right? We talked about the fact that when you mark the high and the lows, every structural leg must break the previous high and previous low. So it's just good that when you mark a high, you annotate the low so you know when price breaks. So for example, if this is your high and this is your low, so you mark this low, you mark this high. So when you're marking the structure, you're able to know, oh, at what point did the break happen, so you're able to follow through, as it were. Or you can also get this indicator if you want to makes life a little bit easier for you. So the next thing I want to talk about today is efficient pricing, right? Commonly you would see it on YouTube as EPA. So say EPA stroke IPA, EPA and IPA, right? And the reason for efficient pricing is the idea that price is never balanced. Price is always seeking to gain its balance. So for example, you can see the market moving something like this, then just jumps up, goes like this, like this, like this, like this, then goes all the way, comes here, does this, then goes this, does this, does this. The market just moves in a bit to actually regain some sort of efficiency. And so they came up with this concept of inefficient pricing and efficient pricing. And the important thing to know, because for everything I mentioned, I need to tell you why this is important. The reason why you have to mark the time frames that belong, the structures that belong to particular time frames, is so that you can look at structure in a more objective way. You can know when there is break of structure on that particular time frame, and that is going to inform your decisions. The reason why you need to know about different types of pullback is that when you're taking a trade from a shallow pullback, you're not thinking that, oh, there's no chance that price would come back for a retracement. So when you take a trade from shallow pullback, your target should be shorter than when you're taking a trade from a deep pullback or from a complex pullback. So you're open-minded because you know that, oh, price can still come back because there are some unmitigated areas below or above where you've taken this trade from. The same thing with inefficient pricing. So there's a common rule. And so the important thing is to know what is efficient pricing and what is inefficient pricing. So simple rule is that efficient pricing is when price retreats back to the zone or to the range of the previous high or the previous low. So this retracement back into this range means this price is efficient. So just back into the range, that's efficient. While when price does not come back into that range, just like this, we say price is inefficient. So this is efficient pricing, right? Price came back to the range. Price came back to the range. Price did not come back to the range. This is IPA. Why this is EPA, right? Price did not come back to the range. This is IPA also. Now, how do you know efficient pricing and inefficient pricing? Okay, so let's say, for example, if we have something like this, your efficient price does not start from the origin of the structure, because that's not pricing, right? So for example, because you can't really tell if structure has been established. That's number one. So your trend would be, oh, if this is the low that starts this move, I cannot say this and this are efficient unless there's been a break of structure and a pullback within that same run. So usually we don't take efficiency from the source, from the origin. So we start picking efficiency from the second pullback or the second retracement. So I would naturally not say is, to follow me, I would naturally not say is this and this efficient. No, that would be a wrong question. I would rather ask, is this low and this low efficient? And what's the answer? Yes. Why? Because this guy retraced back into this range. So I would say this too is efficient. I would not count or consider this guy. So price comes back into the range and breaks. So is this efficient? Is this low and this low efficient? Yes. Why? Price pulls back into the range and then breaks structure. If price does something like this, can I say this guy is efficient? No, because there is no break of structure. Okay, there's no break of structure. All right, so break of structure is very important, very important. So let's see another example. When you have this, all right. So this is the source. We can pick from the source. Is this efficient? Yes. This pullback came back to this range and then we broke structure. So that's efficient pricing. Okay. Is this low and this low efficient? No. Price did not pull back, although we had the breakout. So we had the breakout here. Is this low and this low efficient? No. Never. Never, 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 never. Why? The moment there is an inefficiency between, so for example, this guy right here and this guy, they are inefficient. Okay, you can see price came back, nicked, and to the upside. The same thing here, price came back for efficient pricing, nicked, just give a retracement and all of that. However, this guy, this low and this low, they're efficient. So when price breaks and we have something like this, you can easily switch and pick yourself from this range for obvious reasons, right? I know it's sounding a bit complex, but like there are actually hundreds of videos on the internet on this subject matter, right? So let's see if I can show you live examples. I think it's best if I go to each one. So this E, for example. So let's see. So this is the source, right? This is my high, right? Is this low and this efficient? No, we can't say that. Why? Because this is the beginning. So I'm going to say, is this low and this low efficient? Yes. This low retraced back into this. Oh, it didn't. Sus. It didn't. That's a little bit complex now. Why is it complex? Complex because price did not actually come back. So it means this low and this low, they are inefficient. So we broke. Now we have this low form and then this low broke this guy. So it means that this low and this one, they are efficient because we have a break of structure. And that means I can pick a buy from here. Because the only place you want to trade from as a trader is when price is efficient. Okay, the same thing on and on. This is efficient, all of this is efficient. So at this point, price became inefficient. This guy did not retrace back into this zone, right? Yeah, also. So we became efficient here, came back to the zone. We sold. This is the last guy. We did not come back to it. So we have a new guy here. We have this. New guy means we have to start from the next one because this is IPA. This is not EPA. So the next one, because this will be the new source since we failed to get efficient. So my question now is, I cannot say is this too efficient, even though they are, but because this is the source, I cannot take a trade from here because this is a potential liquidity zone. Price can decide to do this and then come back here before it sells. Okay, so it's a potential liquidity zone. So what you want to do is you want to wait for another break. So just like the double break of structure scenario from a new inefficient pricing. So this is inefficient pricing. So my question would be, is this low and this low efficient? Yes, because this guy broke structure here. So it means that I can take a sell from here. Okay, so I can take a beautiful sell from here because of just that fact. There's another fact, but we've not gotten to it now. And where would my target be? I would target this inefficiency. Why? Because price failed to gain efficiency. And we said that the one thing that is important to price now and forever is to gain efficiency. Price wants to be efficient. Price does not like imbalances. It likes to fill up imbalances. Price wants to be efficient. So the moment you can lock on clock what efficient pricing and inefficient pricing is, you are good to go. So another example. So if I know this is where my price is coming to, right? I already clocked a sell from here just based on inefficiency and non. There's something else though, but we're not talking about that now. Then we have this. So let me check if this is efficient, because efficiency is the king. No, so that's not efficient, right? So it means this is a new low, right? Because this is not efficient. So I cannot say this guy and this guy are there. I cannot ask that question. My question is going to be with a second retracement, which will be this low and this guy. Are they efficient? Oh yeah, price broke, yeah. So it means that when price comes back, especially to induce this, I can comfortably take a sell, which is one of the reasons why people sold here, even though we did not eventually broke this low. So that would be a good sell. You can even add more positions around this gap zone. Yeah. All right. So efficiency tells or says a lot. So let's see gold. Let's see gold. Let's see gold. Let's see gold. Efficient pricing, inefficient pricing. So let's see gold. Let me look for a good example. Look for a good example. This week's price action was a little bit funny. So let me take from this week's price action. So yeah, this from here, somewhere from here. So let's look at this week together. So to also serve as a form of market review. So price broke. You can see price gained efficiency. Now look at this guy over here. This is the last low, right? You can see that price did not become efficient. This was inefficient pricing. Price didn't come back to this zone that created it. Didn't come back to it. Came back here, playfully. We're not going to count that because my indicator did not. Then eventually price came back to this zone and then starts to drop. Now, by all reason, you can be in this sell if you're interested. There are reasons for that sell, but that's not what I'm talking about now. I'm talking about efficiency and inefficient pricing. As you can see, from there, price just keeps dropping. So price did not give a chance for a sell continuation on this time frame. But just to entertain you guys, let's go to M15. Just to entertain you guys, this will be the last example we'll be checking together. This is just for full entertainment, right? So price did not gain efficiency. So what's my question? What's my quest? My quest is, where is price going to gain efficiency? So this is a new, so price did not gain efficiency here, broke. Now, if I was using that rule of single retracement or one break of structure, when price retrace here, I'll probably want to sell here. And what happens? Price takes me out, comes back to gain efficiency, right? But I'm not sure that price has gained efficiency yet until there's a break, external break. So we broke this. So immediately we broke this, what would I do as a trader? That tells me that from this efficient pricing, I can take a decent sell from here, from this zone. Any zone from here, actually. I can take a decent sell. Why? Because this is a break of structure, single break of structure. A lot of people want to buy here, which is why you have this small reaction, right? A lot of people, single break. That's why I said single break is a trick. A lot of people want to buy here. Price comes, because of this single break of structure, they want to buy here. So price comes, does something like this, just comes, give that cheeky little retracement and break. After the external break, for an immediate pullback, price is going to use that exact same zone to sell to the downside. So because I have that knowledge, I'm going to wait for that retracement, put my sell. You see, it's a little bit of a wide stop loss. So the question is, where is my target? Somewhere on the left. That would be from H1. Start looking for your target from H1. Typically, that's what I do. So if you have a different opinion, I don't know, it can be, but that's what I do. So from H1, I can mark this as my target. Why? Because this is inefficient, right? I don't know if you agree with me. And remember, price would always seek efficient price. And you can see that this guy did not retrace back into this zone. So that would be my targets, plain and right. So you can use EPA for targets. You can use it to decide the trade to take, the trade not to take. And that would have been a good trade, in my opinion. This is a 4-hour trade. And this is without even having to go lower than M15, because if I decide to go lower than M15, I can still refine this better. But let me show you guys the power of that. So let's say M5, 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 M5. So knowledge is very important. So what you want to do is, everything about structure would come to an end, or has come to an end in this video. Everything about structure. Okay, so now look at this guy. This is very interesting, guys. I swear this is very interesting as well. So see this internally within that zone where I said people were buying from, you can see there is some sort of MSU price took the low here, took the high. This is a true breakout structure. So that gives me an idea. So let's say I waited, or I was waiting for price to come in to a decent sell, because for me, I would have waited for a decent sell here for proper retracement. But now see what price did instead. So we had a break. Again, price takes the low over here, takes the high. This is a true breakout structure. So for my almighty formula, I can enter at this classic scenario, my stop below this, and then my target remains the same. Why would I want to do this? I don't know, maybe for social media. But yeah, I'm still good. I would rather take this kind of trade than this, because this is risky. But if I'm risking very low capital, for example, I'm risking 0.25, I can easily and comfortably take this one, because this is 16. It's something I will post on the internet and everybody will go crazy, which is why I don't really post as much, because there's a lot of things that go into why people post and all of that. So yeah, I think I've been able to help one or two people to know at least a little more than what they used to know about structure. And this is also going to foster your study, foster or give you a background information about what you need to know and what you need to understand. This is just basics. So I'm trying as much as possible to explain as simple as I can, and to like give you the avenue to either rewatch this video over and over again. There's nothing I've said in this video or the ones I've made earlier about structure that are not already on the channel. I already made countless videos about structure. You can go over them to brush up some of this knowledge. But I wanted to make this bit by bit in order to give people a chance to be able to do this work. All right. So thank you guys. Have fun.